If you've got one of these little babies, it's expensive and it can go wrong. It's a Gtech Multi K9, and the most annoying thing with it is it just won't switch on and off. Well, if that's the case, I can probably cure that within 2 minutes. There's a little hole here, a little ledge for it, and the screwdriver goes in there and wedges the switch out. And very simple to fit. You literally take it out of the box. There's your new switch. There's the what do you call that, a lug that goes in at the bottom, and then you push it in firmly. This machine is now mended. So start to take this apart. First thing, let's get the battery off. And the battery comes off by pressing these lugs in hard, really hard. In fact, I've got to use my right hand. Getting to the age where I'm not as strong as I used to be. Pressing in the lugs, it comes off. Dust coming off them. Mask, you might need a mask. I neglect to wear one too many times. So the screws that we need to remove are going to be here. These are the easy ones. And then we're also going to do these screws and take those off as well. You'll find they're a little hex shape. So this is the correct hex. I'm going to start with the bottom. 4 screws. So 4 screws, and as I said, the first one's out. I'm going to lay them on our sticky paper there so I don't lose them. Now to lift this off, you can see we're going to have to go further because this is attached to that. So we're going to undo these ones now. These screws, you can see when you actually get them out, are smaller. So we're going to put the 2 of them next, and the reason I'm putting those there is they're from the bottom, they're the next up. I don't want to start trying to screw those into the place that's meant to have short screws. Remember, these come out at an angle, they're not straight. So at an angle. These are short screws as well. I wonder if they're the same size. So again, at an angle. That's why we've got our extender there. We've got a nice brown cloth so we can see if we drop anything. There's the last one, 4. 4 screws. And I'm going to lay these on the paper separate to those 2, just in case they're a slightly different length. I'll check those in a minute because we'll be able to see if they are a different length. Now we can actually see this is not part of the bit. The middle piece just lifts out, and I'm going to put it next to its 2 screws. So, oh look, that's pulled out as well now easily. So let's put that next to its 4 screws. So we're going to dust all this out with the paintbrush. Here we go. Sorry, it was a bit of a stretch. Look, get it gently. Paintbrush is nice and gentle. Going to get it all clean, all the electrics, all of the switches, everything clean. This last bit is it's a bit trickier to get out, so you might want to avoid this. But it's got 6 screws. So when you do get it out as well, it's actually attached by a cable, so you can't just pull it off regardless. You've got to pull it off easily and just leave it sitting there. Wire's attached here, so literally just take it off very gently. It's got to slide, when it comes back, it's got to slide into here. But it's worth doing because just again, now remember, I've done this very recently. I took it apart so that I could figure out how it works before I made this film. If you're worried, don't do this last stage. Don't take this bit out because this is slightly more difficult. So here we go. We're going to clean this and we're going to do the other side. Literally just take this out. Now, this has got to slide back in there. There you go. Slide in the bits back in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws got to go back here. They're all the same length. They're all the same length, so, and I left them till last. Now, here's another thing. If you drop them, they'll get stuck to this magnet. If they're not stuck to the magnet, you'll need to to shake them out. So we're going to tighten these up now, and then this part is back together. Don't over tighten them, you don't need to, they're only going into plastic. You can actually do them by hand rather than the machine. The machine might be a little bit harsh. The machine saves time undoing it, and it's got a nice torque to it to undo them if they're a little bit tight, but literally these can be finger tight now. There's only 6, it won't take long. So that's the base back on. And as I say, this machine was, you can't believe how filthy it was inside. When you take yours apart, you'll see. So next we're going to start putting her back together. This part was next. I've brushed it already, but the just making sure there's nothing on it that needs breaking up, no hard lumps they've been there ages. Let me just get the brush again and brush it out. See, look, a little dig with the screwdriver in. We have 2 little pieces left, and this piece is going in first. In there. So this is where you're going to go, oh no, I wish I'd never taken it apart, because you're going to try and get this on a million different ways, and you'll go, oh, I can't line it up, it won't go in, doesn't matter how much. And you're going to want to try and line these edges up with these edges. Well, fair enough, they do, but that's not important. There's no real slant to it. What we're looking for is these devils with the big holes are going to slip over these small ones. So that's what we're looking for, is to line these 2 up. See if you can see inside. There we go, look. We're looking to line those up. And once they do, it just pops on. And then we look to put in the long screws, and they go in at a slight angle. And again, we can use the this in the hand. They literally go in at an angle, and if you force them, you'll ruin the thread. And finger tight on all of them is quite enough. I mean, I love taking things apart, and so for me, it's a bit of a game. But if you're worried, if you think you'll end up breaking it, then don't do it. Don't do it. And I'm not saying this is the correct way to take it apart, it's just the way I've done it. So the next and the last part is this. Again, it's all about lining up the screw holes which fit into each other. And when they're lined up, it literally will just pop in. Last 2 screws, it's all back together. And it's this piece here that lets the machine know it's all connected up. Then you'll be able to switch it on. But here's the trick. If you take out the foam filter, there is nothing in here that really can't go in the dishwasher. And this has been in a few times and comes out sparkling clean. Now, they do say don't put foam in a dishwasher. I've taken out the scented candle. If you don't have one of those, you should put a little plug in there. I've actually put this in the dishwasher too. Well, the dishwasher's finished, and I just want to show you how clean this is now. There we go, pretty clean, spotless in fact. And this is one we cleaned ages ago. And don't forget to put the plunger in or a cap. This actually smells alright still, so we're going to use. But the serial number at the bottom, as you can see, is the battery serial number. All the appliances, all the accessories have serial numbers. Here's the serial number of the Hoover, which is at the top. So where do you find the model? Well, the model number is actually hidden behind the waste bag bucket. Easy. K9 pulled apart and put together again after it's cleaned. Works fine. Thanks for dropping by, and I hope the film helped you. If it did, please help me by dropping by and having a look at my books. I'm a novelist and I write crime fiction. Crime that happens on cruise ships. So, cruise ship heist, cruise ship serial killer, cruise ship laundry wars, which is about human trafficking, and cruise ship art theft. 4 great books, start with any of them, but Cruise Ship Heist is the first one. Thanks very much. See you again soon.